Okay, so one of the first things we got to worry about is you losing your left side, right? And so I want to just show you a couple things on this, and I think I mentioned it a little bit, but I just want to give you an example of what we're looking for here. And so Mr. Watson's tip, as you'll see here in a moment, it's funny. We switched this to go slow. That's funny. We were watching a swing real slow. This is the part I want you to say.
Great tips I learned as a kid, and that is you want to turn your lower body in a barrel this way and then that way, like this. You don't want to be sliding outside the walls of the barrel this way. You want to be turning in the barrel.
Okay. And so this over the years has been like a huge deal, like a huge thing in golf, right? And actually, what's interesting about this is, I learned about the Megsa Golf training system in PGA school, and what's really interesting is you can see that there's players all over the place using stuff like this. Look, this girl has something on her hip and something next to her head, right? This guy has something on his hip and something next to his head. What do you know? This girl has something on her head, and that looks like Lexi Thompson, and something on her hip. And it's like, I wonder why. Because basically, it's better scientifically if you're quote unquote staying in the telephone booth or staying in the barrel, right? And so the problem is once you start to sway, now it requires a lot more hand-eye coordination and timing than if you actually stay in the barrel. Now, I've also done some research on some players, and there's some players that are really athletic, like, Brooks Koepka, for example. I did analysis of his swing, and I just like to tell everyone straight with stuff. And what's interesting is, look, when he's at the top of his swing, where is his hip? Look, where's that hip? You see it?
Where is it? Like pointing.
No, it's on that line I draw.
Okay.
Look, so see how his head's in this box and his hip's on that line at the top is my point, right? And so look, if we go back over here a moment ago, right, and we bring up what's happening here with you, you're going to see here that here's where your hip is, here's where your head is, right? And then when you get to the top of your swing, right, this is where you're at, right? Where with Brooksy, if you will, look where he's at with his hip and his head, right? And so I'm just showing you this so that you understand that this is really something as a player that you need to work on, and it's gonna, I promise you, help you. Because I know it's intimidating with all this stuff. So I just like students to really understand it just as well as I do. That's why I show you this. Now, there are some players that you'll see that will move a little off the line, but then get back on it by the time they get at the top, like Ernie Els. Now, the reality is that's a way harder motion to repeat, I would say, and it requires a lot more athleticism than somebody just holding the line like Fleetwood said. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So right now, in a moment here, I'm gonna just hang on a sec. I'm just gonna take a picture of this for you and send it to you, and then we're gonna start to work on this. This is the first thing and the number one thing that we have to improve at first to get you to be a better player. As soon as you start swaying off this line, that causes all kinds of issues for you with consistency, as you'll find. Okay.